my name is Heather and welcome to my channel Strings and Threads. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. It's a beautiful Sunday here. You'll have to excuse if you can hear my boys' voices in the background. They are playing a game of Axis and Allies, and even if I say, let's please keep our voices down so mom can record, it's too exciting. There's no reasoning with them to keep their voices down. So if you can hear them in the background, I apologize. Hi guys, if I worked it out correctly, I just interrupted what I was doing, what my last video was about, just to interject in here. If you notice in my background, no, my yarn shelves were not completed, and that lovely yarn is not mine. I just wanted to make my background a little bit fancier. I noticed that my station has been kind of at a standstill. It's not moving, so and people aren't watching my videos. And I thought maybe a part of that is the boring background that I used to have. So I thought I would try and switch it up. My husband did measure and cut the wood that he bought for the shelving unit that he's going to put in my room. So hopefully, in the next few weeks, I will have a real background of a reality of the yarn that I have and in my real room. But I thought I would switch it up. If you have any suggestions to make this station better, let me know. I don't know if it's me, if it's the background, if it's just this time of year, but I was trying to spice it up a little bit. So I'm going to go back to my regular scheduled program. I don't know what I'm saying, but I wanted to also put out there that I'm doing a live tonight on how to do the perfect fit half double crochet hats. And it's really easy. You can bring some yarn along and do it with me. So please join me tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, for that live. Sundays, I've been doing a thing called Giving Sunday, and it's where I show things that I'm giving and I talk about the places where I'm giving them, and it is not as a pat on my own back. It's really to bring awareness that you can help the world in many different ways, even by knitting and crocheting. So right now I'm giving to two different places, and one is the American Starfish. I've been giving to them since early summer. They were in need of washcloths for their washing stations. I should explain what they are first before I start in on that. The American Starfish is an organization that helps homeless vets, and they've created a whole tiny home community, and they have a washing station there, and they needed washcloths for their washing station. So I was making those, and then November 11th, they said, we have enough, and we could really use some hats right now. So I'm working on making hats for them, but it's a nice, I will have a link to their website down below and an address if you would like to also join in and give, where you can send them. But it's a really neat community that they're setting up there. I believe they're also gardening and trying to become self-sustaining, where they eat what they garden, but then anything that's left over, they also sell. And so they're making a little business. So it sounds like a really wonderful place to be and to give to. So if you were interested in that, please feel free to check it out. Like I said, I have all the information in my description below. And then the second place is the Salvation Army in Bridgeton, New Jersey. I'm not from Bridgeton, New Jersey. I'm a Pennsylvania girl, but I heard about this through Annie and her station. I keep forgetting to look it up before I do the video. So Annie, I am so sorry. I butcher it every week. Her station is either Annie J's Laughs and Crafts or Annie J's Crafts and Laughs. I always mix that up, and I'm so sorry, Annie. But I have a link to it down in my description. And I saw her video where there was a plea for help, and actually the story behind how she got so involved in her Salvation Army, and it just really, really touched my soul. I say that every week, but in case somebody hasn't heard me say it, I'm going to keep saying it, and I'll put a link to the video that inspired me to want to give to them in my description below too. But they were in desperate need. They help to feed their community. They provide meals, and people were coming in asking for hats, and they didn't have any hats. So she started something called Hope for Hats. And I thought, that's such a simple thing. I can crochet hats, and I can give them to the American Starfish, and I can give them to the Bridgeton NJ Salvation Army. I know it gets cold in the winter, and hats are really helpful to keep your head warm. And I think there's something special about getting a homemade hat. Now, Annie J has a, go and check her out. I'll put the address to the Salvation Army, if that particular Salvation Army, if you also wanted to give to that. But she also has an Amazon wish list for the Salvation Army where there are pre-made hats on there, and also yarn, because people in their community had volunteered to make hats, but they didn't have any yarn. So they're also collecting yarn for hats. So if you wanted to either look at their wish list or just send them some yarn so that the people in their community who are learning how to crochet can make hats as well. But I was going to say, I think that there's something really special about getting a homemade hat versus one that's bought. One that's bought is still going to do the job. It's still going to keep your head warm. So if you don't crochet, but you still wanted to give them hats, that's perfectly fine. For me, I wanted to see if I could make the hats something that they can be proud to own, something that they can, that's just a little bit more special to them. So this week I was able to do 3 hats, and I'm just using little balls of my lovely leftover yarn. Sarah from Sarah Moo's Crafts, I think that's the name of her channel. She calls all of her leftover yarns from projects, she calls them her lovely leftovers. So I've kind of taken that up as well. So all of these, I don't know necessarily what they are. They're all like medium weight, probably either Red Heart Super Saver or Mainstay or Big Twist, one of those types of yarn. But these were just the little balls that I had left over from other projects that I've done, and they make perfect hats. And so here's one that I did. I just did half double crochet increases and then put a ribbing on the edge. Now tonight I'm doing a live, and it's how to make the perfect size half double crochet hat. So I have, just from doing hats for so many years, I've kind of come up with a pattern to make it fit adult heads, and it has worked every time. I make it the same every single time. I've had a lot of people ask about it, and I was surprised because this isn't really fancy. I mean, to me, the thing that makes it fancy are the colors, but certainly not the stitches. If you can see, it's just half double crochets and then the ribbing at the end. And I'll show the ribbing in the live as well. So if you're interested in how I make these, I'm going to show it in the live tonight. You can get a few scraps of yarn out, scrap balls of yarn out, and do one along with me if you're interested in that. But it really is nothing special. It's nothing I have copyrighted. I'm just going to show you how I do that. This is another one I didn't put the ribbing on the end. It's similar to this one. Some of the colors are different. I apologize if you can hear that. Maybe it's not coming through in the video as much as it is in the house, but they are so excited. They're screaming. I'm glad that they're getting along and playing a game, but so here's the last one I did. This one's a little different, and I'm going to do a video tutorial on this one. This one basically is the same on the inside too, other than having the tail, but the stitches look the same on both sides. So keep an eye out for that. I am going to, like I said, I'll do a video tutorial on this one. I'll need to come up with a name for it. If you have an idea for a name for this hat, let me know. I'll put it on so you can see how it looks. I think if I did it again though, I probably would make the ribbing smaller and make this part bigger. I kind of underestimated how far along I was when I stopped and did the ribbing, because I did the ribbing last on this. I did the top part first. But I just really, I don't know if there's a name for this stitch or not, but I can show you how to do it in the tutorial. So there is that. Thank you for joining me for this Giving Sunday. If you're doing any donations, let me know in the comments what you're doing, what you're making, where you're donating. I love the spirit of giving, and I just want to keep doing this on Sundays just as a chance to put out awareness that this can be done. You can do this too. You can help. There's a lot of different ways you can help. Even just as a knitter or a crocheter. So thanks again for watching. I hope you have a great Sunday. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.